I can't wait to take a shower. Wait, what? So we just getting butt booty naked up in here. That's what we doing? Bro? I think your crotch might be on fire. Marvel vs. Capcom was one of the best fighters of all time for the PlayStation and a bunch of other consoles. This was an epic game that not only put together some of the most banging superheroes that we've ever seen across the MCU and Marvel Comics, but also some of the most iconic and notorious Capcom fighters ever. I'm talking Ryu. I'm talking Zangief. I'm talking Chun-Li. There were so many crazy ass characters in this video game. And honestly, I don't know about y'all out there. Maybe you played it on the arcades. Maybe you played it on PS1 or whatever. But to me, this was one of my favorite pastimes growing up as a kid. I remember bringing this console to my friend's house all the time. We would play all the different characters. And oh my God, how could I even forget? Some of the most chaotic characters ever in this game series. I'm talking Onslaught. Look how big this motherfucker is. What are we doing right here? Hello? And this was honestly my first time seeing some of these characters. Growing up, there were so many video games that came out and it was hard to keep track of just which ones were worth it enough to even grace your presence with. All the time that we had as kids to play these games. But honestly, this one here, I think it takes the cake. Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes is a 1998 crossover fighting game developed and published by Capcom for the CP System 2 arcade. It's the third installment technically in the Marvel vs. Capcom series, which features characters from Capcom's video game franchises and characters from Marvel Comics. But unlike the previous entries in the Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter franchise, this sequel features characters from numerous Capcom game franchises, rather than strictly sticking to Street Fighter characters. While the gameplay is largely identical to its predecessor, Clash of Superheroes removes the traditional character assist system and introduces the variable cross attack. The game was then later ported to Dreamcast and PlayStation in 1999, and is the first to carry the series' official name, which would be used for subsequent sequels moving forward. While the gameplay was typical of the Marvel vs. Capcom series, Marvel vs. Capcom is distinguishable by two features: the ability to summon assist characters and the duo team attack. Now, I remember the duo team attack because I would always play War Machine, and when he would power up and summon that huge laser beam cannon to just absolutely obliterate my opponent, a whole bunch of people would just be jumping out and it felt like I was on LSD or something. The whole screen would be tripping. I don't know if I'm the only one that remembers that, but I'm sure there are some of you out there that are having some PTSD flashbacks of being absolutely blitzed by War Machine's cannon. And the bragging rights at birthday parties were just something that could not be topped. Unlike the later games in the series, the point character of a Marvel vs. Capcom team couldn't summon the off-screen partner for an assist attack. Instead, an assist character was randomly selected before the match began. This character could be summoned a limited number of times in battle to attack the opponent in parallel, and codes could also be used to force the system to select certain assist characters. The duo team attack then allowed players to control both characters on his or her team. The characters had unlimited use of their hyper combos during this time, and since some characters have hard to avoid super moves that do substantial damage if blocked, the duo attack can lead to tactics that are oriented around activating it before your opponent could. Since the PlayStation 4 only allowed one character to play on point, a duo team attack would call the assist character repeatedly without cost for its duration. Now, the storyline of this game was primarily based on the X-Men comic book arc of Onslaught. This is where Charles Xavier went into the mind of Magneto, and in swimming in the depths of this man's fucked up mental, he accidentally triggered some sort of scenario which caused the darkness in Magneto to enter Charles Xavier's consciousness and turn Professor X into this crazy, big, brooding, purple and red motherfucker named Onslaught. And I promise you, anytime that this man was on screen, this guy would just be clawing the shit out of him, beating everybody there. It made absolutely no sense. I remember that you would actually be able to, I think, play as Onslaught. And those times, let me tell you, your friends would be pissed the hell off. And honestly, even just playing the story mode on its own and trying to defeat Onslaught was something crazy. That was a feat in itself. And just like in the story, while we may not be able to defeat Onslaught alone, Professor X had the bright idea to summon characters and call upon heroes from the Capcom universe. Hence the story of Marvel vs. Capcom. Now, Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes featured a roster of 15 playable characters. The Marvel playable characters consisted of Captain America, Gambit, Hulk, Spider-Man, Venom, War Machine, and one of my all-time favorites, Weapon X himself, Wolverine. Versus this, the Capcom playable characters consisted of Captain Commando, Chun-Li, Jin, who if y'all forget, for some reason, this man would be just having the craziest emotes. You would actually be able to summon this huge mecha robot, it was pretty cool, and he'd be able to just absolutely take out his enemies. I used to love playing as this character. For some reason, if you press the select button, I believe, then this man would be able to go butt booty naked, aside from a little thong loincloth, and pull out a towel and start going like... I don't know who decided on that. I don't know who the developer was. They might need to be put on a watch list. I'm gonna add them back with the Naruto developer watch list. But the main point being that this guy's emotes were absolutely hilarious. Another one of my all-time favorites, Mega Man, Morrigan. And let's be honest now, why was y'all picking Morrigan? You do know we all have eyes, right? It was that, wasn't it? I see you. Roll, Ryu, Strider Hiryu, who honestly was one of my favorite characters. Strider's design was crazy. The purple jumpsuit, the fucking needle sword, the damn red bandana tied around his mouth and flowing into the breeze. Like, look at this design. This man looked absolutely insane. Peak right here. As well as that crazy motherfucker, Zangief. Now, it was here where I got exposure to some of my first Capcom characters that honestly, outside of this game, I've never even heard of again. Captain Commando. Who? Strider himself. I know I said he was goated, but I never heard of him before this. Jin. Honestly, I don't know if I want to hear about Jin after this. And Morrigan. Morrigan was sick. That character design, it was flawless, buddy. It was flawless. And my kid brain, being so young playing the game, I think I might have been like 6 years old, but I knew peak when I saw it. And to everybody else that's picking her out here, I see you. Now, in Japan, Game Machine listed Marvel vs. Capcom as the second most successful arcade game of March 1998. And in the United States, the game sold an estimated 3,000 arcade units, reportedly outperforming Street Fighter III, to become Capcom's most successful arcade game in the US during that time. Marvel vs. Capcom also received favorable reviews on both the Dreamcast and PlayStation. While the Dreamcast port of the game received positive reviews for its animation and fast-paced gameplay, being praised as a flawless transition from the original arcade game, the PlayStation port received a bit more mixed reviews than its Dreamcast counterpart. It was heavily faulted for its removal of tag team battles. And while it had the same moves as the original game, the shell surrounding those moves was completely different. However, since the PlayStation 1 was the only one that I ever played, I thought it was dope. The game also featured 22 special partner assist characters, including Colossus, Cyclops, and Jubilee from Marvel, while the Capcom side includes Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins, Devilot from Cyberbox Full Metal Madness, and the Unknown Soldier from Forgotten Worlds. There was also a number of other assist characters, including Iceman, Juggernaut, Magneto, Psylocke, Rogue, Sentinel, Storm, Thor, US Agent, as well as some Capcom assist characters, Anita, Lou, Michelle Hart, Purr and Fur, Saki, Shadow, and Tonpu. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea who the fuck most of these assist characters were from the Capcom side, but that didn't devalue my experience with the game at all. It was still super fun to play, and honestly, there was a reason why I kept coming back and revisiting this classic after such a long time. The fast-paced fighting, being able to chain off combos with your friends, taking Captain America and being able to pit him against Ryu, Like, this is mind-blowing stuff, and honestly, I think that this game was way ahead of its time. Look how big the MCU has gotten today. Could you imagine if we never had Marvel vs. Capcom before, and it came out during the peak, the hype that was Infinity War and Endgame? This game would be going gangbusters. It would be blowing up insane. And that's not to say that it didn't do damage back in the day when it came out in the 90s and early 2000s. However, today, this is big dollar profitable. Now, Marvel vs. Capcom was first developed for Capcom's CP System 2 arcade hardware. It appeared at the AOU show in February 1998 and launched in Japanese arcades that same month, followed by North America in March 1998. A Dreamcast port was then revealed at the 1999 Tokyo Game Show and introduced Cross Fever, a mode enabling 4-player gameplay. The Dreamcast version then released March 25th, 1999 in Japan and October 7th, 1999 in North America, as well as June 23rd, 2000 in Europe. The game also came to PlayStation, but RAM limitations forced cuts, most notably the removal of the full tag team system. So many game modes became 2-character battles, with the second character acting mainly as an assist. However, it added a crossover mode that creates matching tag teams for both players, plus an art gallery, though animation frames were a little bit reduced. This port was released on November 11th, 1999 in Japan as EX Edition, and in January 2000 in North America and Europe. Now, one of the things I remember most about this game was being able to turn into Dark Ryu. It was so sick seeing him with the black gi and the shadowy purple powers. He had the most aura out of any of the characters by far. I'm sorry, Jin, I'm sorry, Strider, I had to do it to you. And in getting to face your friends and activate these specials, use the Hadouken against Wolverine, against Mega Man's blaster, shit like that was just so epic. It was fun. And I think one of the things that a lot of games these days from the new era seem to forget is most people just want to kick back, relax, and have a good time. They want a good experience. Not every single game needs to be super serious, grounded in real life physics. It just needs to make you feel excited and thrilled to play the game. It's so easy to just go down hours of bringing your console or having your friends come to your place and play the game and getting lost in hours matching up characters that you never thought you would see on the screen before. I mean, this was such an iconic and legendary produced video game, and in my personal opinion, this was one of the biggest bangers for PlayStation 1. Now, some of these moves are what got me the most. Captain America's hypercharging star was absolutely insane. Gambit being able to use his kinetic cards and his royal flush move was absolutely nuts. The Hulk jumping around the screen like this huge green massive beast using the gamma wave and gamma quake was absolutely crazy. But I have to say, I think all around, my favorite Marvel character would have to be Spider-Man. His moveset was absolutely insane. Being able to shoot the webs at your opponents, shoot the spider balls, wrap them up, toss them around like a freaking lasso and just toss them to the other side of the screen. Bro's moves were unstoppable. And some of those combos, Spider-Man was able to just freaking mash you in your head top and you could not do shit to stop him. Wolverine was also insane. This man would be just going on the screen, clawing people like this. Man would just pop out and absolutely slaughter you. You could not stop that. And when he would jump up in the air and activate that move where he's just like this, and boom, you would just get absolutely mashed. That big X would come up on the screen. I know I felt proud when I pulled one of those moves off. I'm sure at least one of y'all did too. But even past that, lesser known characters like Captain Commando using the Captain Sword or the Commando Strike was absolutely insane. Morrigan being able to summon these like image clones that would pop up on the screen and just dash from side to side and wreck you. That was sick as hell too. And that bat design, honestly, like they were cooking for real. But I think my favorite move in the game was Chun-Li's. She would have a move where you would be able to kick your opponent up in the air, and if you timed it just right, activate this one move. I don't even know what it's called, but she would just hop up in the screen like this, kick out her leg, and fly across the screen. All you would see are these Japanese characters come up on the screen, and your opponent would just die instantly, if I'm recalling correctly. That shit was hard. They truly just don't make games like that anymore. And honestly, it's really a shame. I know there's been some later entries in the series, but to me, this was the cream of the crop, the peak of the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise. This first game just blew my world, it blew my mind. But honestly, if we could get a movie like this, I know they're coming out with a Street Fighter movie soon, and despite however you might be feeling about that, if they could one day drop a Marvel vs. Capcom flick, I promise you it's selling out the first day. You're getting popcorn, you're getting popcorn, you're getting popcorn. With that being said, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and slap that bell icon so you never miss another video. And until next time, go find Marvel vs. Capcom and buy it at a garage sale.